Yeah, I know we've been on your mind. So we back in front of y'all with episode number 9. You feel me?
That's
And in
right.
case you didn't know, this is the No Box Sports Podcast, brought to you by No Box Entertainment. And I'm one of your hosts, Uncle Doug.
And I'm the original CP3.
The original CP3, and you better not ever forget it. And the people elected us to come back for another week, man. They voted for us to come back another week. And the great thing about us, we want everybody to have a choice. And we coming in front of y'all to bring the voice of the Philadelphia sports streets, man. Philadelphia sports streets, man. It's been a while since we've been back, man. Been a while since we've been back. Y'all glad to see us? Oh, they glad to see us. They clapping. I ain't even tell them to clap that time, but I appreciate the generosity. We about to get into the Eagles. The Eagles, man. We feeling real good in Philadelphia about these Eagles, man. You see, he got the blanket behind him all cozy with the shirt on. I got the hat. Good as Philadelphia Eagles fans right now, man. Yes, sir, man. We coming off a win to the Jacksonville Jaguars in an unnecessarily close game. But we ain't gonna complain too much, man. We did take care of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They came to Philadelphia. Dougie P came back. We retired Shady Jersey. We wound up beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-28 to improve to 6-2, dropping the Jaguars to 2-7. Man, how you feeling fresh off that win?
First of all, shout out to N'Kobe Dean for saving us, bailing us out.
Shout out to the Dean on your Dean.
Yo, we was looking bad on that last drive. Like, it was getting concerning.
I mean, it was looking like one of them games.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I thought, Saquon did what he does. Jalen kind of seemed like he reverted back to those old mistakes. Like, honestly, he got bailed out of one pick. You know what I mean? Dude dropped the ball. I thought overall we did what we were supposed to do, like you said, but we didn't look great doing it at times. Like most times we did, but it shouldn't have been that close. And it's because we didn't look as great as we should have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the game flow, I mean, we went up, I think halftime it was 16-0, 16-0. Mm-hmm. Then we came out after the half. Jacksonville scored 16 fast points. I think they scored all their points within 4 minutes. And the Eagles scored 6. The reason we scored 6 is because we went for 2 on the play when we didn't have to. Mm-hmm. But the first half, it was a slow build, but we were dominating them. Second half, we kind of had some hiccups, had the turnover, Saquon Barkley fumble, which wasn't a fumble. He definitely got tripped up by a sock. And they reviewed that and still kept it. I mean, when he fumbled, they picked up the ball and scored.
Yeah.
And then they did go on the touchdown drive on their own, but they scored 16 points with two touchdowns with the 2-point convergence fairly fast, and kind of made it into a game and made things really matter. But when you talk about Jalen Hurts, kind of reverted back to his old ways. Just to give you his stat line, he went 18 for 24 for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So he still didn't turn the ball over, although he did get away with one. Saquon Barkley, you said Saquon did what he does. I mean, we got to let him know what Saquon did. Saquon had 27 carries, 159 yards, averaged 5.9 carry, had a touchdown on the ground, also had 3 for 40 and a touchdown through the air. So darn near 200 yards and all-purpose yards, 199, 2 touchdowns. Saquon did his absolute big one. Saquon Barkley, man, like, are you glad he an Eagle now, man?
I mean, I don't think I ever said that I wasn't glad. It's just that, the main concern with us is we just want him to continue to have this production and stay healthy, man. The main thing is just, can you play the whole season? That's the only concern that anybody's an Eagles fan, had is, can he play the whole season?
Can he last? Can he last? Can he hold up?
And he's ball, I will say this, because we did have Well, we had that bull from the years ago, DeMarco Murray from the Cowboys came to us and he was trash. At least Saquon has been as advertised. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get a guy from a division rival, and then, it's like he comes to us and it's like, what happened? Dude, Saquon has been as advertised, man. And it's been awesome to watch.
As advertised, revitalization and rejuvenation in his career. And he had an amazing play. I'm sure it's been seen all over the nation by now. He
All time.
Actually backwards hurdled the guy.
All-time play, dude. They're never gonna that will be all-time. 10 years from now, they're gonna show that play because that's one of the all-time highlights ever, man. Backwards, never seen that before.
I think everybody, when it happened live, everybody, whoever they was watching the game with, they probably was like, yo, did you see that? If they was watching by themselves, they got up and got hyped, man. I actually got up and got hyped. I'm like, did he just do? And I tried to do the move, and I pulled my hamstring. So I'm going to just let y'all know. That wasn't easy what he did, man. He literally spinned off a guy, jumped backwards as soon as he came off the spin. It was a 12-yard pass out the backfield. But, man, that was one of the most explosive, elusive plays I ever seen by any running back on the football field.
First of all, are you even getting up that high? That's what I want to know.
I wasn't. That's what I found out.
Forget backwards. Forward. Are you getting up there?
No, and that's what I found out while trying that move. I said Saquon different. Saquon is different because the freeze frame is not a little hurdle. The legs all the way up by where your shoulders are when you're standing, man. That guy is explosive, and that guy is different, man. And our defense, I'm gonna say our defense played well. I mean, we gave up 7 to their defense. So you really want to boil it down. We gave up 17 points on defense, and a lot of that, we got a couple fourth down stops where they had short fields. We left some points on the board. We left a lot of points on the board. Our defense played okay. Our defense played well. They made plays when they had to. Cooper DeJean was solid again. I think the D-line has been playing really well since week 5 off the bye. We actually lead the NFL in sacks since the bye week. That's a little known stat. We actually top 3 in every defensive category since the bye week. So this defense is hitting the stride. I don't know. I mean, they're getting more comfortable. They're hitting the stride without Slay on the field. Hitting the stride with the young bucks out there running and gunning. I feel like Zach Bond is turning into having a Pro Bowl type of season, honestly, if you want to keep it a bean.
Yeah.
And the Kobe D made the biggest play at all when Jacksonville was driving, threatening to beat us, actually. That touchdown would have really helped them take the lead. We would have had some time left, but the Kobe D basically ended the game with the interception, man. But we left.
Big time.
We left 8 points on the field. And when I say left 8 points on the field, I mean we chose not to kick the field goal 2 times, turned the ball over both times. And we actually went for 2 unnecessarily twice and didn't get either one. So if our coach would have just took the easy route and take the points when you're supposed to take, I don't know what Sirianna is looking at during the course of this game, man. And the whole city is echoing this. Sometimes you outsmart yourself. Sometimes you doing a little too much. Just take the simple play. We got Jake Elliott, one of the best kickers in the league, who probably forgot how to kick by now. Because we in these situations often where we should be kicking the ball and we're not. And then you throwing them out on the field when situations where we normally don't kick. It's weird. Our kicker is all out of sorts. We're leaving points on the board, and we playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, so we got away with it this week. But you cannot leave 8 points on the field versus elite teams. It's not going to happen.
Hold on, listen. I need people to stop messing with my coach. All right.
Oh, that's your coach.
I mean, I guess it's just my coach because apparently like you said before, you listen to social media, listen to media, you listen to people calling up. It's just like, everybody is having a problem with Nick Sirianna. They, either don't want to give him credit or they want to complain about this and that. And it's like, dude, like, yes, you're right. There was a couple of times where we wish that he would have done an extra point versus trying to go for 2. We don't understand the 57-yard field goal by Jake Elliott. To me, I feel like you could debate if he should have went for 2 or gone for the extra point and stuff like that on the second. the second or third. The first one, simple, go for the 7. You know what I mean? Just do 7. But after you miss it, you fell on the 2 points. It's like he was trying to catch up. I get that. My biggest the biggest one is when he punked out on 4th and 4 and decided to do a 57-yard field goal with Jake Elliott. It's like
you've been consistent with your identity at least.
Exactly. Like that's I'll say that. That's one thing he needs to work on, being consistent. If you're going to be the gutsy coach, then be the gutsy coach. But the problem is that too many people are bashing this dude, getting upset, talking about
rightfully so, man. Rightfully so.
No, I honestly, they're 6-2.
They're 6-2, man. But honestly, we could be 7-1. We shouldn't have lost to Atlanta.
It ain't because of him.
It's too many spots in the game where we're looking at and we're pointing as our coach as a liability. Like a good team, you cannot point at the coach multiple times in the game and say, "What are you doing?" That's not going to fly come playoff time, bro. It's cool now because it's Jacksonville. It's early November, but when the stakes get the highest in January, you can't do this, bro.
I'm not going to super analyze the games. I'm not going to super analyze the games.
That's what we doing. That's what we don't get paid to do.
The 2 losses. What I mean by that is, because I'm asking you, the 2 losses, right? I don't expect you to be like, well, play this, play that play. But my thing is, in the 2 losses that we had,
right?
I don't feel like those was because of the coach. That was because of the players. Jalen had way too many turnovers. That ain't on the coach. Come on, man.
I'm not putting the losses squarely on the coach.
But well, you said they could have been 7-1.
What I'm saying is we're winning despite the coach sometimes. And that's not something I feel comfortable saying on the regular. The New Orleans game, this game, Atlanta game, we lost when we could have won. It's just I don't want to come out of games on the regular and be able to point to Sirianna decision making as the main concern for this team moving forward. That's
okay.
If I had the list priority, the main concerns for this team moving forward, Sirianni coaching is in the top 3. And I think any Eagles fan out there tell you the same thing. We don't just say this stuff for fun. We know how story ends when we leave certain things unaddressed. It always come up at a time where it's just not ideal and it stings you the most. And then we got to sit another off season and wait for it again. So Sirianni, I just need you to, and then the forfeit inches. You just pushing 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You gonna fake it twice on 4th and inches? Come on, bro. What are you doing?
Right.
You're getting too cute, bro. You're getting too cute.
I won't disagree with that. The too cute. But I guess at the end of the day, I feel like his decisions still haven't necessarily cost us a game. And I don't even know if I'll say that. Let's just go with the Jacksonville game. I don't feel I do feel like he was chasing points, but I don't feel like when it came to the play calling and stuff, I still feel like there was execution issues with the players that would have possibly cost us the game. Again, the Saquon, fumble, that could have cost us the game. The Jalen Hurts almost throwing a pick could have cost the game. Those wasn't because those were bad plays or, why did you go for this pass play instead of doing a run? Like, I just feel like the players, at the end of the day, the coaches made some calls about 2-point conversions versus field goals, but not to the point where it's cost us a game or even come close to costing us a game. A lot of times it's been execution by the players, man. I think people are just trying to, for whatever reason, they want to try to get my coach out. They want to kick my coach out. And it's like, yo, that's my coach. That's my coach.
That's not my coach, man.
Not to go with T.O. and my quarterback, but that's my coach. Like, leave him alone. Just back up off him.
He said back up off the coach. So you're not concerned with Sirianni right now?
No,
you're not.
Honestly, no. It's the same coach that helped us get to in 2022, helped us get the Super Bowl. He was still doing some of that gutsy stuff. Come on,
what have you done for me lately?
Come on now, but you know the difference. I don't want to make this a bash. You're right, but I don't want to make this a bash. But in 2022, there was a certain player that was playing way different than they playing this year.
And I already know where you're going with that.
So is it the coach or the players?
It's a combination of both. I wouldn't put it all on anybody, but I will say, Sirianni, I am not confident in your decision making. It seems sporadic from week to week. We're surviving because this is a great team. You have a great roster. You have great talent. And we have the ability to overcome mistakes, but it shouldn't be at the hands of you. It should be a player dropping the ball, maybe Jalen throwing the interception, maybe the defense missing a tackle, not our coach making multiple ill-advised calls with downs to go.
Well, I feel like it was one of those things where I will say this. Hopefully he's learned his lesson that you can't keep chasing points, because I do feel like it was multiple for a reason. I felt like for whatever reason it was like a downward spiral of chasing points, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was.
If just went for the extra point on the first one and then waited to a different opportunity. Like, I just felt, he kept chasing points. Don't be like, that's the one that they always tell you, whether you playing Madden or you playing football for real, they say you don't chase the points.
You can't, because it never works out well. And to get off Sirianni, it was, I think, 16-0, and the guy goes for 2. Why?
Right.
17-0. What analytics is telling you to go for 2, my boy? Why?
I'm with you on
that. Why?
Right.
But it is what it is. We got the win. We're not gonna beat a dead horse. Sirianni, I'm not confident. He say leave his coach alone, so we're gonna leave you alone. Defense, y'all playing well. We playing well, so I want to salute the defense. Saquon Barkley, you an animal out there. Literally, you doing your big one out there. And 27 carries on the ground, 3 receptions, man. I mean, it's the Saquon show. Saquon show, man. With Saquon getting this heavy workload that he's getting, are you concerned right now with that, or just our recipe for success, just to let Saquon spin for us to win?
I feel like it's a catch-22, because Kenneth Gainwell is not giving us a whole lot in regards to when he subs Saquon out, right? We don't know about the rookie Will Shipley. Right. And the other part is, if you try to give him a break and let Jalen run more, then you run the risk of hurting Jalen. And we don't want that, because I don't believe in Tanner McKee or the bull from that came from Pittsburgh.
Pickett.
Yeah. I don't believe in any of them to be like a Nick Foles savior and help us get to I don't see it.
Definitely not Nicky Montana.
I don't see it. So it's like, what do you do? Do you rest? Do you give Saquon the ball more to kind of preserve Jalen, or do you let Jalen pass more and believe that he's going to make the right decisions? You know what I'm saying? With either we have AJ or not. We don't even know about that in regards to that's being day to day. And so it's like, what do you do? Like, I feel like, to answer your question, I would rather preserve Saquon for the playoffs, but I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so you want to dial back.
I do want to dial back, but can we do that and be successful? That's the question.
You want to dial back on Saquon,
because we want to preserve him.
I think Saquon is our safest path to being a consistent elite team. Handing the ball off to Saquon. I mean, honestly, we've looked the best when Saquon went off. And even before we got Saquon, you want to go back to last year. We looked the best when we run the ball, when we got Swift going. When we got those running backs going.
I agree.
And I think that's been a common theme for the Eagles over the past couple of years. We looked the best when we running the ball. When we won the Super Bowl, we had that 3-headed monster going. So we got an elite talent in Saquon Barkley. I think we need to come out the gate, establishing Saquon. When things get shaky, we need to establish Saquon. And to finish games, we need to establish Saquon. And it is a whole lot of Saquon.
What I hear you saying is no dial back. I hear you saying.
I mean, if we can be consistent and get on top of teams like we supposed to and go up a good, comfortable amount, then yeah. But when it's rare, I think at the very least, I think he need to have 20 carries a game.
It's risky, man.
I would like not to see 27 carries a game.
Well, wait, was it 27 carries or 27 touches? That's a difference.
It was 27 carries, 3 receptions. So okay. I would like to see him right around 20. Right around 20, but I feel like 15 of those Jones need to come in the first, I ain't gonna say quarter, but the first 2 quarters. We need to establish Saquon, man. And then save the rest of those carries for when we wear the defense down later in the game. But right now, it look like he's holding up. He's not taking a lot of hits. We are using him. He is leaving the game nicked up a few times. That was a cause for concern. But I don't think we can afford to go away from Saquon because that's the reason Jalen haven't been turning over the ball. Literally. Saquon.
I mean, but hold on, bro. Like, but he's supposed to be the franchise quarterback. He gotta be able to. He got 2. Like, honestly speaking, I feel like in my memory of being an Eagles fan, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think we've ever. This is the closest we've had to almost having a Jerry Rice, John Taylor, I believe his name. Yeah, John Taylor. Back in San Fran days. Like, this is the closest we have to having that kind of elite, receiving core. Alvin Harper, Michael Irvin, whatever. You know what I mean? Like we never had that. We always had we had 1, but in my memory, we never had 2. You know what I'm saying? And and it's like, your quarterback has those weapons. Not to mention Dallas Goedert. You know what I'm saying? Freaking Calcaterra actually is a weapon. So it's like your quarterback needs to be able to utilize those things, which will also help preserve Saquon. But to your point, give him some of his carries, but help preserve him if your quarterback plays better. So, but your quarterback has to throw the ball. He can't just be running. I hear you about establishing a run, but your quarterback got to utilize AJ and Devontae. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. We do. And what I don't like about how our offense look when we're healthy is we never really utilize all the weapons at one time. And I think
who is that to blame?
We can throw the blame on him, but I'm not going to throw too much blame on him. I think he's been playing very well over the last month. But yeah, we have to start spreading the ball around, man. We got you see every time AJ Brown go down, which he went down this game.
Yeah.
Knee, AJ got an ongoing knee issue. He had meniscus problems in the past. Seemed like he get nicked up with the knee at some point of the year, every year. But you see when he went down, what happened with Devontae Smith? He shows you he's a number 1 receiver. I just think we just need to do a better job of spreading around the ball, which will in turn, to your point, make Saquon less worked. It'll lower the chances of us overusing him early in the season and getting to the playoffs and being able to stay healthy when it matters. But yeah, he needs to spread the ball around, man. I don't have no pushback there.
Let me ask you this. Who do you think, because like you just said about AJ being sort of nicked up or sort of hurt, right? He's hurt day to day and stuff. We got Saquon that, gets a little nicked up and stuff like that. Fortunately, nothing crazy and all that, but he does have a injury history, right?
He does.
Who do you feel like do we need to preserve more in regards to the playoffs? AJ or Saquon? You know what I'm saying? Like, because like,
what you saying? Like our most important piece, basically?
Yeah, who's the most important? Like, who is the most important piece? And honestly, part of that is whoever's the most important piece, we need to preserve them for the playoffs. Because again, it don't matter what we do in the regular season. We need these guys for the playoffs. You need your best people for the playoffs. So who do you think is the most important piece that
Ooh, that's hard to answer because I want to say Saquon, obviously, I feel like, because we just look like a great team when we got Saquon rolling, and it opens everything up and take pressures off the quarterback. But like you said, Jalen is on the superstar contract. He don't have to game manage. We're not sitting up here asking him to manage the game, don't make mistakes. We asking him to win games. So I want to say Saquon Barkley, but I got a lot of history with AJ Brown being not in the lineup as an Eagles fan, and I know we just don't look right when AJ's not in the lineup. Even instances to where we had Saquon versus the Bucks, versus the Saints, we looked crazy most of that game. I mean, we made a run in the fourth quarter, but I honestly think for Jalen Hurts to be at his best, AJ Brown need to be on the field. I think we have a good enough offensive line to where we'll be able to run the ball. It won't be no spectacular plays.
Yeah.
It won't be them Saquon plays, but I feel like we'll be able to run the ball with our offensive line, regardless of our running back. I mean, it'll be nice for it to be Saquon. So just without thinking too much, I will say AJ Brown is actually the most important piece to this offense, man, because he changed the game with the 50-50 balls. And like I said, Jalen just looks so much better when AJ is on the field.
Right. The only problem, only problem I'll say with what you just said about him looking so much better with AJ Brown on the field is that AJ Brown sometimes is seemingly like a crutch for him.
Yeah,
that's the only problem with it. But I agree with you. Like, I honestly feel like AJ is the most important piece. But I also feel like if we have a healthy AJ Brown on the field where you have AJ and Devontae playing on the field together, I feel like that will also help us preserve Saquon if we give, but the question really, ultimately the question is Jalen back to 2022 Jalen, and in regards to not just running the ball, but also being very efficient in how he passes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And making the best of the two guys. So if he can make the best of the two guys that we have, actually three guys, again, counting Dallas Goedert, it will help Saquon and stuff like that. But, I mean, I feel like, honestly speaking, AJ, to your other point, AJ seems to be, when AJ is playing, we seem to be a way more confident team than having Saquon. We've had Saquon and no AJ.
Yeah.
Because Devontae isn't number one, but the problem is that we don't have enough good backups, and that's the question I think I was asking you. When we had the meeting before, it's just like I'm worried about the depth at our major positions, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like Devontae by himself, he's great, but they double him, and then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem when you don't have AJ. When you got AJ and Devontae. Shoot, I mean, it's tough. But when you got one of them out, it's like I'll just double the other guy, and and that's like what is your Dotson going to do? What you know what I'm saying?
So to answer the question,
yeah, AJ.
You're saying AJ Brown is the most important.
I'm with you, AJ, because he makes it.
And I agree, and it's not really, and it's kind of like a 1A, 1B situation. It's not like one way over the other. They both are important.
Yeah.
But if you had to pick, we're gonna leave it there for now because it's like if we had to choose to not have one in the playoffs, it'd be like I can't pick not to have Saquon
because we just talked about Kenny Gainwell not being a good backup for Saquon, so it's like it's tough.
Let's hope we don't have to really deal with that dilemma. But I think we both agree right now. We just look so much better with AJ Brown on the field. But
get healthy, AJ.
Yeah, get healthy, man. AJ, man. We're gonna get into the AJ report, going into the Cowboys review. But now it's time for us to, broaden our horizons and look outside of our Eagles glasses, man. And we usually do a look around the league, but we're gonna do that in a different way this time, man. We're gonna start giving y'all our top 5 NFL seasons. It's about that time. We got enough data, collected enough data to figure out who we like the most to pick a top 5 in the NFL, man. Let's get right into it, man. Right into it. Now, I haven't gave this much thought. So I really got to formulate this on the fly. Have you do you know your top 5 teams now?
I got my 5. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Number 5, I'm gonna say the Commanders.
Boo.
Say the Commanders, man. I'll be honest with you. Jaden Daniels, man, that guy, The only problem is, can he stay? The only problem is him staying healthy and stuff like that. I feel like, with his body type.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I ain't gonna lie.
Jay
I
Daniels, number
sometimes
5,
think about Jay.
Washington
I
Commanders.
sometimes imagine Jay Daniels running the offense with AJ Brown and Devontae, and I'm like, I don't know with Saquon, I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Ravens, number 4, Ravens.
Okay.
Number 3, Bills.
Okay.
Number 2, Lions.
Okay.
And obviously, number 1 is the undefeated team, the Chiefs. Like, got it. I mean, Patrick freaking Mahomes, man.
Whoa. I didn't hear the Eagles in there, man.
Oh.
I
They
didn't hear
number
the Eagles.
6. They number 6. How about that?
God, man. So the Eagles not a top 5 team to the original CP3 at this moment.
They're not top 5. You know why? They haven't, other than the Bengals, who we starting to wonder about them. They haven't really played. The 4 wins that they had was against like so teams.
All right, I ain't gonna push back too often. We got a couple more weeks of this left. Listen. We only in week 9? Week 9, 10? Yeah, week 9. So we got a lot of NFL season left. We got about 8 weeks left. 8 weeks left. So this list gonna change. Like Stephen, they say it may be fluid. Let me get into my top 5, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with the number 1 team. We ain't even gonna work down from bottom to top. We can go from top to bottom because the top should come first, right? Right? Number 1, man, the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Right. Not that I like their roster better. They just got the ultimate difference maker. And they got a solid head coach. And it seemed like it don't matter what type of game you throw them in, they just find a way to win. So Kansas City Chiefs anchoring that list at number 1. Number 2, Detroit football. Yep, Detroit Lions. I don't know how real it is, man. We got to see it in the playoffs, but y'all seem to have developed a culture over there. Y'all run the ball. Jared Goff could gunsling it. Y'all get after the pass rusher, the passer. So, number 2. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens down in Baltimore. You hear me, dummy? All my Baltimore dummy watching the game. Number 3, Lamar Jackson with his afro. He just different this year, man. He making the case for another MVP. Number 4, we're going to go up there to upstate New York, not the Giants. Damn well we ain't talking about the Giants. Damn well we ain't talking about the Jets. We talking about the Buffalo Bills, upstate New York. Josh Allen carried it. Shout out to Solid Rock Inc., fantasy champions trying to defend his crown for another year. Then we're going to go to number 5.
Here. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that was a little bit of haterade coming off. I beat him in the championship one time, too. We ain't going to talk about that. That's another episode for another day. But number 5, my number 5 team to round out my top 5, the Philadelphia Eagles. Yep, the Philadelphia Eagles, the 5th best team in the league right now. And that's non-biased. I put them over the Washington Redskins because they're younger. They got a young quarterback. There's a lot he don't know. I just ain't see them do it enough, man. I seen this Eagles core kind of been together for a few years, and we added some pieces, and I don't think they're as deep as us. I do think they're playing great football, but I give us the nod over them for just experience alone. So that's my top 5 around the league, man. And like I said, the list is fluid. So we got Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Bills, Eagles. CP3, yeah. You got Commanders number 5. I think you had the Bills 4.
No, I think I had the Ravens. I think
Ravens 4.
So yeah, we're pretty much same people, man. I feel like we're the same
people. I just swapped the Eagles out for the Commanders. So.
And the Chiefs and Lions, and we're definitely on exactly the same with that, man. The Lions, honestly speaking, I'll say this before we move on. If the Eagles don't make the Super Bowl and it's the Lions, I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably would root for the Lions. The Detroit fans would be first-time Super Bowl winners, I believe.
I'm not rooting for nobody in the NFC, but that'll be a feel-good story for Detroit. Maybe
that's what I mean, just a feel-good story. I like.
But let's get out the top 5, man, and get back to our Philadelphia Eagles because we got more to talk about. We're going into a rivalry game this week. The Dallas Cowgirls, to be exact. This Sunday, 4:25. They are 3-5. We are 6-2. They are kind of like limping into this game. Dak Prescott just went on IR with the hand. So we won't be seeing him. We'll be seeing Cooper Rush. They traded for a receiver, Jonathan Mingo, over there in Carolina. CeeDee Lamb is questionable. Michael Parkinson has missed the last couple games. He is set to return this week. But we going in there versus the wounded Cowboys, and man, and just our injury report. I know AJ left the game with a knee injury, so that was cause for concern. But he has been at practice this week. It does look like he might be able to give it a go. We don't know for sure. It's probably going to be a game time decision. I don't think Goddard is playing this week. I think we'll still be without Mailata and what's the guard we missing? Mailata and somebody. No, Beacon came back.
Yeah, I
So
think maybe
just Mailata at this point.
Yeah, I think it's just Jordan.
Maybe just Mailata at this point. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, how you feel about this game coming up on Sunday versus the Cowgirls?
Well, I feel like it should be a win. The question, I'm not going to go crazy and say blowout, but I think it should be a win. And you said that we have the most sacks in the season, right?
Since week 5, since our bye week.
So we should be giving Cooper Rush fits.
Yeah, he's not a slouch, but he's not Dak. He's a backup quarterback at the end of the day.
So yeah, I think a win, man. Eagles should win. Eagles. This is not a must win, and I guess at this point you could say it's a trap game. I guess if you want, but like this should be an Eagles win, man. Like this is not something where if we lose this game, not only because it's the Cowboys, but just the fact that they are, messed up, dinged up and stuff like that. Like nah, man, it's just a win.
Yeah, win. Yeah, should definitely be a win, man. I think it should be a win as well. I think we need to go in here and handle business. This will show me how serious we are at building to be a consistent team. If we go in here, handle our business versus a wounded, struggling, even if they was healthy, they struggling. They 3-5. This is Dak's first game he's missing. So this team is not that good, man. They kind of crumbling over there in Dallas, man. The offense is inconsistent. The defense is getting ran through like Swiss cheese, man. And I just think we got to go in here and handle these guys, like win convincingly, to the point to where our starters is kind of don't got to play the whole fourth, because we do have a turnaround game on Thursday night versus the division leaders right now in the Washington Commanders.
Good point.
That will be a game everybody's looking forward to. We'll have all the coverage leading up to that game. So, like you said, this can be a trap game if we start looking forward to that game, thinking we got this in the bag. But I want to believe that this team can come in here, handle business as usual, get in here, wrap this game up pretty early, run the ball, don't turn it over, don't give them no chances.
Come on.
And maybe have our coach not be a liability for once.
Yo, stop. Didn't we just say
I didn't have to do that? I didn't have to do that. You're right. I didn't have to do that.
Unnecessary. Come on,
Sirianna, come on, man. I'm gonna be saying that until you don't do it.
Nick, just hit an extra point, dude. Just do the 2 point. Just extra points.
That's all we gotta do, man. That's all.
I don't want you to change too much, but just modify. Just modify. Don't change. Just modify. So yeah, man, I'm with you, man. Like honestly, I like your plan.
Give him a score, man. Give him a score.
Oh gosh,
I know we ain't been doing that lately, but why not? It's the Cowboys.
I really want to blow out, but it's the Cowboys, so I feel like we're gonna find a way to make this more competitive than it needs to be. I'm gonna say, 28, 17. 28-17.
31-13, Eagles. We fly out of there and we get ready for the Washington football team or whatever the hell their name is, man. But that's going to wrap up our Eagles talk. Y'all know we got it for y'all all season. We not going nowhere. We will be here during the whole playoff run. And hopefully we doing episodes in February about us. Listen, it can be a glorious time. It can be, but stay with us, man. I'm just saying that to say we here. You never know when we gonna go live. Tap in with us. Eagles talk. You ain't getting it like this nowhere else, But that's gonna wrap up our Eagles, section of the show. We also got another team that's, in season, one that we, cover heavily and we excited about or was excited about. Let's talk about those Philadelphia 76ers, or should we just call them the Sixers? Because we not complete right now, man. How you feeling about the start of the season? We 1-6 right now. How you feeling?
I'm patient, man. I'm patient.
Patient. Okay.
Patient.
Why are you patient?
Because at
Philadelphia.
first I'm gonna be honest with you, and initial reaction, I was like, oh man, this team might be garbage. Like but I'm be patient. This team is all it's only like a few people from last year. Excuse me, in the year before. Like this is almost a totally new team, except for
Entirely
Embiid.
different roster. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it's entirely. So it's
Entirely
like they haven't been able to play together yet. We haven't had our star play yet.
Nope.
We had Paul George just play 2 games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know they practice, but it's different between practicing and playing. And so it's going to take them a minute to gel. And so it's like we got to give them some time.
So we haven't seen the Philadelphia 76ers yet.
Nope.
We seen the Philadelphia Sirius. You
Yeah.
seen that team. So we saying out of 7 games, we haven't seen them yet. And out of the 7 games, we only seen 2 of the superstars for 2 games. In case y'all didn't know, Maxey has been carrying the load so far, getting up a lot of shots. Defenses have been focusing on him. We went 1-4. With Maxey carrying the load. PG just came back 2 games ago. First game was in Phoenix, second game was in LA. We'll get into that. But like he said, we haven't seen the 76ers yet, like at all. So we would have liked to win 1 or 2 more games without our core. I mean, but what did we expect? Our whole offensive game plan is built around Embiid. The guy hasn't touched the floor yet. So I don't know if you can really begin to judge this team until Embiid touches the floor. We was waiting for PG to touch the floor. We at least got to see that. I mean, he returned versus the Phoenix Suns. He shot terrible. I think he was 4 for 13 his first game back. Not to say they was bad shots. They just wasn't falling. He returned on Maxey's birthday, actually. What was your impression seeing PG in the 76ers jersey for the first time? I think that was Wednesday.
He looked as good as that. First of all, he definitely is a great replacement over Tobias Harris.
Oh man, we lost to the Pistons, by the way, and Tobias Harris.
But
at 19-10.
But we didn't have PG, so let's just whatever. But no, he just looks like like his shot, man. It just looks real smooth, man. He just looks real like the shot that he definitely looks like he's still working his way back up with the team and stuff like that, and they're just figuring out how to gel. But like, man, Paul George, man, what an addition. Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a good one for us.
I do, as long as he can stay healthy, man. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes he makes those moves. All I can think about is how he got his knee hyperextended. And I was
when he's stepping through the lane, when he drive and try to take that long step, I'm holding my breath too, like and it's weird because I'm gonna do that with PG and Embiid all season, like literally. There's nothing they're gonna be able to do to have me not scared every time they touch the floor.
Yeah.
But he came back versus Phoenix. He did take the game winner. A lot of people was mad about that because we had a chance to beat him. He took the game winner. People felt like Maxey should have shot it. I'm one of those people, but PG hit a lot of big shots. He had the ball. He shot it. It is what it is. Struggled first game percentage-wise, 4 for 13. He bounced back game 2, which was yesterday versus the LA Clippers in the Intuit Dome versus the Sega Genesis. I think he went 7 for 9 yesterday, so he looked much better shooting-wise and just rhythm-wise. And like I was saying in the group chat, man, if he can look this way next to Embiid and Maxey, I'm going to be happy. Just make shots when they come to you. Get your ISO buckets at the end of the clock. Play within the flow of the game, man. So I'm glad to see him out there. Still a little weird to see PG running around in the Sixers jersey, but hey, it is what it is. So that was good news yesterday. He started to look better, but we also got some good news yesterday that the guy Joel Embiid is on deck. I mean, they basically all but said he's guaranteed to play Tuesday. After he's finished serving his 3-game suspension from the incident he had with that reporter. In case you didn't know, a reporter made a report questioning Embiid's lack of dedication to the sport and to the team, and mentioned, some personal family members that hit a sensitive spot with Embiid, and Embiid just wasn't feeling that. And then the interview hit where Embiid was reacting to it, and he voiced his displeasure and said he can't believe people questioning his will for the team, but it was really aimed at that reporter.
Yeah.
And then he wound up seeing the reporter at the game that next day, that night.
Stupid for them to even let him do that. But go ahead.
That was weird. And from my understanding, they had an altercation where Embiid shoved him a little bit. I don't know to what extent. It could have been a shoulder bump. It could have been a light little push. I doubt Embiid really went in on him. It probably was just to let him know, like, yo, I'm a man. You can't just say anything about me and my family. Keep my family name out your mouth.
Right.
That's basically what he said. And
right. He did almost Will Smith him. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he was Philly, so he wasn't born and raised, but most of his days. But yeah, he did get a 3-game suspension from that. It was just announced. And I guess the Sixers is kind of making it seem like he would have been playing this next 3 games so that when the suspension is over, it's the play-in game versus the next Tuesday. So we got Joel Embiid on deck, man. We got the MVP. We got who some consider the best, most unstoppable player in the league on deck. And we got, PG just came back and healthy. But damn, I got some bad news, man. Maxey went down last night. Yeah. Maxey went down last night, man, to a hamstring. Looked like friendly fire. Looks like they said he's gonna be out for a couple weeks with that hamstring. So it's crazy. If it's not one thing, even when Embiid come back, we're not gonna be able to judge this team until Maxey get back again.
Right. So that's again back to we have to be patient because we don't really know. We're not gonna fully know until they're all playing at least 10, 15 games together. All playing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Before we can really make a determination. It's too early.
You said you got to be patient because you ain't got no.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's just like they got to be able to figure out. They got to be patient.
At all.
Figure out. They got to be patient, man. Figure out how to, gel together, and they're not all on the same. They're not on the court. Like they're just not on the court.
And let's hope that once Maxey get ready to return, nobody else is leaving the lineup, man.
Yeah. Well, Embiid, hold on. Embiid is, you already know he's not going to play like a whole season. Like they say, like 50 games. It's 82 games in the season. So we already know that. Like that's not.
They can say that now, but you see how that record is. We'll see. We'll see when the games come up if they're really willing to do that.
That's fair.
I think we we really closing our margin for error right now. Really small. 1-6, 1-7, 1-8. That's more than 2. You get past the season, you're gonna have ground to make up. We don't want to fall too far back. But Embiid is on deck, Philadelphia. The MVP is on deck. We want to see him with Paul George, and like I said, the pieces that go around them. But salute to Maxey for trying to carry it until everybody go back. He kind of ushered PG back in the lineup, and Embiid comes back. Embiid comes back next Tuesday. But how do you think Maxey did carry in the load by himself, man? Like if all goes wrong and we only left with Maxey, man, how would you feel as a Sixers fan in that scenario, seeing it over the last 7-6 games?
Honestly, man, I feel like he's a sidekick. Like I feel like he's a glorified sidekick. He's not an AI that's going to lead a team to a finals. You know what I'm saying? He's just not that guy. Can he be that guy? So far, I'm not convinced. I honestly wonder. They say, maybe if you go to the Olympics or something like that, be around a bunch of, great players, maybe that make. But it's like, honestly, I'm not convinced right now, man. I think he's a glorified player, glorified sidekick.
And it's tough for me to say this because Maxey works so hard. I mean, I don't really know, honestly, a player that works harder than Maxey on the 76ers, man.
Yep.
I think he's an overachiever. Like, honestly, he's going to take his talent level to the max. I mean, no point intended. But I don't know if he necessarily makes anybody better. That's what has me hesitating to say, like, he can carry a team by himself.
Right.
Because I think he can get his numbers. I don't know if he's like an assist guy or, on how he plays, somebody can play off him and get better. I think he's kind of perfect in that Batman role because he can go for 50. He can go for 25 consistently.
Right.
He can get you a couple assists, but his style of play, which is basically shoot a long 3, get to the basket, and he's developing that mid-range game. I don't really see him as a playmaker at this point, and I would like to see the person carrying your team be a playmaker. And it took Embiid a long time to get there. But
Right.
the thing about Embiid is he's so dominant, he just makes whoever is around him better. It's just by default because so much attention goes to Embiid. It's like he can make players around. He get players open shots basically. So I don't know if I'll be confident if Maxity was our only option, but let's hope we leave this conversation in hypothetical land. We never really have to deal with that.
Right.
But I do think Maxi is best suited in a Robin role after seeing this. But again, they didn't prepare to have him being a Batman. PG got hurt a week before the season, and B
Right.
situation sprung up on it. So it wasn't like they planned and build around Maxi. So I don't want to make any final, judgments on whether or not he can be that guy. But with this team, I think he's better suited being that number two guy. That number two guy is perfect for our guy Maxi. But like I said, let's hope we never even had to deal with
We
that.
can
But
we can revisit closer to the trade deadline or something like that because
we're not trading him,
you know
but we can
yeah.
revisit.
No, not trading him, but in regards to getting somebody for the future because we got two old guys. We got Maxi, so eventually Maxi is going to either have to carry the team, you know what I mean, or get somebody else to work with him. That's what I'm saying. But we could talk about that another time. But yeah,
For sure. And I mean, we don't want to see it to where Maxi is the only one carrying.
right.
But this Friday, versus the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James Jr. 10 o'clock in the Staples Center, PG will have that role of carrying the team by himself. So we'll get to see PG do it for 2 or 3 games before Embiid come back. So y'all make sure y'all lock in. We are in LA. We're doing the LA two-step. So yeah, we got them 10 o'clock. Lock in. It's a Friday. You probably get paid. If you off Saturday, stay up because I be struggling to stay up during these West Coast games, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I be struggling, man.
Right.
But tune into him if you can, man. We're gonna see PG be that guy, man. He probably had to take 20, 25 shots, and I want to see it. Maybe we can get a Vegas special going over there in LA. It's still a game. I wouldn't bet on it, but I'm just saying the money line might do something. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. Unless the Lakers are sitting some people, I'm not very confident about this. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's one of the money line games. You got a little $2-3 to play with, turn into 20. I mean, make it do what it do, man. And speaking of money line, stay tuned to the No Box Sports Podcast, man. We got some betting experts coming on. We're gonna start giving y'all some picks. We're gonna start switching it up and giving y'all some different type of content all around sports and maybe outside the box of sports a little bit because we are the No Box Sports Podcast. But we got plenty of Sixers talk. It's very early in the season. Our overall message to Sixers fans is to stay patient. Stay patient because that's what we're doing. We haven't even seen the Sixers yet. So stay with us, man. And we know this has been so divine. And this was episode number 9. What a No Box Sports Podcast, brought to you by No Box Entertainment. And in case you forgot, I'm one of your hosts, Uncle Doug.
And I'm the original CP3.
The original, and you better not ever forget it. And it's about to be a great sports weekend, man. We got the Sixers Lakers Friday night. We got Charlotte Sixers Sunday night, and we got Dallas Philly. Y'all better get hyped because y'all don't care what type of team walk into that game. It's always kill dollars. It's always kill dollars, man.
Yep.
But it's been a pleasure chilling with y'all. We be back before you know it. And if you ain't like, if you ain't follow, if you ain't share, if you ain't subscribe, make sure you go do that.
Get on it.
Don't be afraid to comment either. Talk to us. And y'all already know we pop in with live episodes every now and then. So if y'all ever see us online, tap in with us. Get in the comments. We'll interact with y'all. Because we do this for the people.
Yes,
you
sir.
hear me? And I don't want to take up no more of your time, man. That was episode number 9. Until next time, we gonna holler at y'all. Yeah.